I remember the first time we talked, you said you guys have a schools program in place. How are we doing with that?
Well, it's still at its teasing stage. What we've done is we've tried to identify the available facilities, because building squash courts is not cheap. You need to get the space, put up the structure, but there are existing ones. We've identified places like King's College having squash courts, a squash court. Apparently, that was the very first squash court in the country.
Wow.
We have University of Lagos, Obafemi Awolowo University, and a host of others. Then we're looking at clubs as well, such as you have the social clubs, the family clubs like Ikoyi Club, Lagos Country Club, Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, the Old Trafford, Eswene clubs in Uyo, the Hiltonia in Abuja, where we're talking about them supporting the development of grassroots squash by making those facilities available for schools within the vicinity. However, you can have the squash courts without kits. What do? Now you need rackets, you need balls, you need goggles for the juniors, we need shoes. Now, just a couple of days ago, I was with the chairman of the marketing committee, and we've come up with a package that we're now taking to our sponsors. And then again, just yesterday, I was with His Excellency, retired General Olusegun Obasanjo, where we discussed this extensively, and he's coming out with his support for that on a really grand scale, which is fantastic. So you'll be hearing more about that later on.
It's good that Pat made you smile.
Oh, yes, it did.
Because it's important we develop it at that level. But the interest, because, I mean, kids, is it how I want to play football? I want to be Usain Bolt. The interest in getting kids to play squash.
Well, it's not just kids now. Even a lot of people don't know about squash. I remember once I was traveling, and even an American immigration officer is like, "What do you have in your bag?" I said, "I have my squash kit." He said, "You have your squash drink?" I said, "No, squash kit." I play squash. It's like lawn tennis, and then he says, "Okay, go to secondary." And I'm like, I got in and I said, "Squash? What's that?" I said, "Oh, you play. Get out of here." So if at that level they don't know, I mean, squash by design, the courts are hidden. They're tucked in somewhere. If you're not a squash player, you probably wouldn't know
that's what it's for.
That's what it's for. And that's why one of our main programs for this year is the media games. And we're going to get you to play squash.
I'm ready.
You sure?
Absolutely ready.
All right, so we're putting that together. I'm speaking with Ben Alaya, who's played squash as well. And we're also bringing some of our Nollywood stars in. I was chatting with Ramsey this morning. He plays squash, you know that. Yeah. So we're trying to get that out there so everybody knows more about the game. You'll be amazed. I mean, in Kwara, for instance, you have this little tots playing squash, and you'll be amazed at what they do. And we want to get that going across the country and not just in squash spots, and that's what we're trying to do. We will be talking. You'll be seeing a lot about squash in the media moving forward, because the head of the media committee is really, really trying to put something together in that respect and to bring you guys in as well. I mean, I know some of your media guys don't know squash. They just send information out there. It's amazing,
I know, very important that we'll have some sensitization going on.
Yes.
So that, I mean, if persons can pick interest in cricket and rugby, then we can understand squash.
Well, because when they see this on TV, it just doesn't make sense. They don't know what it is. They don't even see the ball. I mean, look at that.
That's what's going on. Let's talk about coaching, because while you're trying to get the media to stimulate interest for the sport of squash, would like to understand the persons that are teaching the sports. What does the federation do?
Okay. When we came on board, the first thing we got started on is to collate data on available resources in the country, both on the facilities as well as on the human resources. You're talking about the coaches, the referees, as well as the players. Now, this is with the mind to know how many coaches we have, what level of coaching have they had, when last were they trained, and we've gotten some data, not all, and part of what we're working on is to bring in a coach from outside into the country to train our coaches and come up with a developmental program that we can monitor. It's not just to come in, train, and then it doesn't end there, because some coaches can train grassroots. Some will work with the elite players. Some can't work with the children. So we need to be able to segment them and find out who can do what and come up with a program. I've discussed with a few of them where we're working to bring someone in, and that would happen very soon. As a matter of fact, we're having a training program for our coaches. The program was designed by Professor Talabi, who was professor of human kinetics, an ex-professional squash player who's trained, played squash in Nigeria, trained elite players, and he's put up a program that will be the first training program coming up second week in March. That will hold in Kwara State. We're starting with that, and then we'll move on to having the foreign coach come in to take that forward.
Busy year for squash. I must say thank you for coming around, Boye, and all the best. All the best. Good luck to the Federation. We are here to give you your scorecard at the end of the year.
We're looking forward to having you pick up the racket and play.
We'll play some squash. So that's it. The development of squash in Nigeria. I've been discussing it. And as Boye said, let's start picking interest in some squash and play it if you've got the time.